Welcome to our series, Moving America Forward. Each week we'll be focusing on America's entrepreneurs as they take us to new roads, new opportunities, new ways to fill the gaps left by today's failing companies. Our series will be looking at that and a lot more. So come with me and watch as the entrepreneurs of our nation move into the future. I'm William Shatner, and you're watching Moving America Forward.
And I'm Doug Llewellyn here in our studios in Los Angeles with our guest, who is the president and CEO of a very interesting Nashville, Tennessee-based company called Trades Unlimited. His name is John Stallworth. He's here on my left, and in a moment we're going to meet him and really get into this story. But before we begin, John, let me point out, a little while ago you had the unique opportunity to answer some questions from William Shatner, have a little conversation. Let's take a brief look at a portion of that right now and see just how it went, okay?
I understand, in a sense, that you've been helping to build America. What kind of products and services do you provide, and how is that moving America forward?
Mr. Shatner, we are helping to build America by fulfilling one of the most important needs in the construction industry, skilled craftsmen. We provide the electricians, plumbers, millwrights, steel workers, equipment operators, welders, carpenters, and all the others who construct America's buildings, roads, and cities. And that, Mr. Shatner, is how we are moving America forward.
You know, it's interesting, you rattled off a long list of different categories to Mr. Shatner about the kinds of workmen you provide. Sounds to me like almost any kind of category of workman, electrician or whatever, you're able to give the companies who come to you. Is that right?
That is correct. We are predominantly the MP&E trades, but also structural steel and welding and things like that. All of those that I previously mentioned to Mr. Shatner, and also some specialty trades. So if you're a contractor doing any kind of volume in any town North America, we are the source for that company to contact so that we can help with their skilled labor needs.
You know, it's interesting. I have some notes here. You specialize in healthcare facilities. You provide a lot of workers who've worked on airports and also educational facilities, colleges, high schools, things like that, right?
That is correct. We've had the great fortune from our contractors to work on an array of different companies all throughout North America, and those have ranged from airports, from Nashville International to Atlanta Hartsfield International, Orlando, George Bush Intercontinental, to nuclear facilities, to hospitals, hotels, schools, to projects as small as the corner drugstore.
And these are projects nationwide, all over the country?
That is correct. Our geographic scope is all 50 states. And we are very comprehensive in the Southeast because that is where our
you're
base
headquartered
is.
in Nashville.
That is correct, but our reach is everywhere.
I should point out, you were named by Inc. magazine as one of the fastest growing companies in North America today. You represent some 12,000 skilled craftsmen, I believe. That figure, is that right?
Well, that is correct, and that is the approximate amount that we have in our database nationwide, and at any given time, a certain percentage of those are active and working.
Right. And the other point I wanted to mention, you are the largest construction staffing firm in the southeastern United States.
That is correct.
Let me ask you a little bit about, number one, how you find these construction workers. What's the program they go through for you to represent them?
You know, it's not easy getting a job with Trades Unlimited. There's a rigorous screening process that involves multi-tests, measurements tests, skill aptitude tests. We're a drug and alcohol-free employer nationwide, and so it's not real easy to get a job with us. But what we do is we take those that score the highest and that we feel that have the most potential and that perform well, quite frankly, and we aim to keep them. And so we give each of those the same benefits package that I have, and so that all of our internal staff enjoys, so that we retain and keep those employees for hopefully forever.
The big point is, these are your employees, and when they go to work for another company on a project, their paycheck comes from you, not that other company. Is that right?
That's correct, and that's really the beauty of the contractors that we serve, whether you're an industrial contractor, commercial contractor, whatever type of contractor you are. By outsourcing your labor to Trades Unlimited, you're off the hook for all the payroll taxes, all of the workers' comp, all of the liability for unemployment. All of that stuff is then a turnkey solution provided by Trades Unlimited.
So it makes sense to know that you really have to be convinced that that worker that you're bringing on knows how to do the job.
Absolutely. Our reputation relies on that, and so, you know, it really helps too. I think one of the biggest reasons that sets us apart from anyone else, and in some cases even above some younger contractors, is that we are construction folks hiring construction folks nationwide. And so that really does make a huge difference.
What's the big benefit for the worker?
The big benefit for the worker is that once a job site ends, we might have an opportunity, especially if they travel, to employ them on other jobs, whereas the only other alternative for them might be to be laid off. Right now, jobs are very hard to come by.
I was going to say, with the recession that this country's been going through, construction's been hit hard.
It has been hit hard. And unfortunately, you make an excellent point. There's not many young folks entering the workforce right now. And so it's just critical that the great ones that are out there, we hang on to them, because we're going to need them, because we're going to bounce back from this thing.
So the point is, these are workers who may, let's say they may live in Florida, they may live in the Carolinas or Nashville near you, they may live in Wisconsin, but you can send them to work on a job in California, for example. And the companies they go to work for put them up? Is that what happens?
Well, we offer, actually the worker does that. We enable them with a per diem,
right,
on top of a very competitive wage and a pretty handsome benefits package.
What additional services do you provide for them other than those that you just mentioned?
Well, we also have different arms of our company, but before I get into that, we offer the worker pretty much a stable paycheck, as long as we have our customers to thank for that, as long as they continue to give us the job orders to staff their needs. But to pick up on the previous thought, we also have a couple of other arms of our company that are not only able to help the worker, but they're also able to strengthen the companies that we staff for. And that is, we have one arm of our company that just does executive searches. So if you're a commercial or industrial contractor that is looking to expand internally, and you need more supervision, or we have even been retained to do several vice president searches. Sometimes, you know, life happens within the lifespan of an organization too. Trades Unlimited can act also as a headhunter for those, and we do several of those executive searches annually.
That's very interesting. And have you been able to keep most of these guys going during this rough period in construction?
We have been very blessed by our mainstream contractors who put their trust and faith in us. And, you know, right now, if you're a contractor and you win work, there's no backlog, and it's very dangerous, and chances are you've had to bid that work on a skinny margin. And so it just makes fundamental sense that you outsource your legal, you outsource your accounting, you outsource a lot of other things in your business model. Why wouldn't you outsource your payroll? And so that is in essence what contractors are having to do now to get by, to compete in the marketplace, and we're that solution.
What are the first steps you go through with a new client?
We really want to understand their business. Even though two different electrical contractors, even though they're both electrical contractors, they might operate differently. They might manage their projects differently. They might have a lot of different standards. Right. We truly take the time to understand their individual needs, what they're trying to execute, and then we go and do that for them.
Well, you know, it sounds like you really do provide a much needed service, and I can see where you're a benefit not only to the companies who are doing the construction, but obviously the guys who are actually doing the work itself. What are your future plans?
You know, we would like to evolve more as a national organization. We are headquartered in Nashville, Tennessee. We have a unique model that actually makes us a lot more competitive to use. And that is because we have a central location. We don't have branch offices peppered out throughout the U.S. We handle the entire country from Nashville, Tennessee. And so the benefit to the contractor is that you don't get passed off to anyone else. You have one point of contact. Once we understand your business, then we understand it whether you have built a job site on the West Coast, on the East Coast, or in Nashville, Tennessee.
Well, it's a great story that John Stallworth has to tell about the interesting name of Trades Unlimited, where you provide these workers for companies and construction projects, literally nationwide. And he's very steeped in this industry. He knows it very, very well. You did it yourself when you were a construction tradesman, right?
That is correct.
And your staff, you guys, you know they can't pull the wool over your eyes. Listen, this has been very interesting. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm William Shatner, and you're watching Moving America Forward.
This organization represents companies across our great nation that embody the spirit, dedication, know-how, and can-do attitude which has made America the great nation it is today. And now let's present the Keeping America Strong Award.
Now it's my honor to present this prestigious award to John Stallworth, the President and CEO of Trades Unlimited of Nashville, Tennessee, for the outstanding work that his company is doing to help keep America moving forward. John, it's a real pleasure to give this to you. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I would like to thank my staff and all of our employees nationwide, and especially to the contractors that give us a chance to feed our families. And so this couldn't be possible without the contractors putting their trust and faith in us.
You're very welcome. To get the reaction of clients who have worked with Trades Unlimited, we went to Nashville and talked with the executives of a number of companies who have hired this company's employees.
Hi, my name's Dan Broadbeck. I'm with Compass Partners, LLC, and I want to just take a minute to tell you about my experience with Trades Unlimited and John Stallworth. Compass Partners has been working with Trades Unlimited for 10 years now, helping us complete our work safely and efficiently, and that's very important in this business. Also, I'm the future chair of ABC, Associated Builders and Contractors, and I'm very proud to say that Trades Unlimited has been a partner of ABC's for more than 10 years. In fact, the great thing about Trades Unlimited is they do majority, if not all, their work with Associated Builders and Contractor members around the country. We're very proud of that. We're very proud of the culture and what he brings to the industry and what he brings to the association. Critical importance on every job site is safety. ABC stresses safety, and we're happy to have John and firms like John's firm, like Trades Unlimited, to emphasize safety, make it number one. The construction industry is a tough industry, and focusing on that aspect of it is critical. Trades Unlimited focuses on safety, and we know that we can count on them every time. From an association standpoint, ABC, we are a nationwide association. We work across all 50 states our association covers. John is a great partner with ABC because John works in all 50 states. So of our 22,000 members, John can help service every one, no matter where they're at, no matter what the job is. And we're very glad to have Trades Unlimited as a part of our association. They are key members.
John and I have been in business probably about 17 years. I have known John and have kind of been around him during this whole time. His company has been in existence roughly 10 years. I have got the good fortune of meeting John and working with him in a previous company, and that relationship that we have developed has kind of been fruitful for both Walker and for Trades Unlimited. John's electricians are good journeyman electricians. They're good mechanics. They know how to put in the electrical projects the way that we need them put in. And that relationship from the start has been a good one for all of us. It was one that we kind of grew together on. I know with him starting his company and my company being fairly young, there were a lot of things that we had to learn together as far as how to make this company or both companies successful, and how to sit there and make it to a point where it's something we wanted to do every day. John's people that he's surrounded himself with are good people that know the business. They know how to find good tradespeople. They know how to find workers that will work in environments that we need them in. What I mean by that is we're kind of different in that as Walker Electric, we've got a niche market where we do heavy industrial and heavy commercial type projects. One of them in particular that we got into was working for the Oak Ridge National Labs on their supercomputer projects. Well, that takes a breed of electrician that really has to know their trade and has to really be good at what they do, because we're working inside a government facility and we've got inspectors and we've got folks that are critiquing our work that basically could care less whether we're union, non-union, or how the work gets done. They want to make sure that they got a quality project. And with John, he was able to sit there and send us folks that are still working with us today up there. We're going on 10 years at this one facility, and some of that can be attributed to the fact that when we had John and his tradespeople up there, that we impressed the owner and they knew what our capabilities were and they knew that we would get the job done. John has been able to supply us people that were able to sit there and basically make us a success and also make us profitable. It's one of those things that if we can't count on the people coming over there and working with us and making us look good and putting the job in a good fashion, then, you know, if we can't make money, we really don't need to use John and his company. But they have been able to supply us with folks that make us a success and make our projects good for the customer. It's kind of a win-win for both sides in that role. And now going forward, the economy has been slow. You know, we have been fortunate that we still do have some work and have a little bit of backlog there. And even today, we still use John's folks on some of the projects that we've got, because in our role, we travel quite a bit. We go from, I mean, right now we have used John's tradespeople from California to New Hampshire to Pensacola, all the way to New York. So we've got kind of a broad brush that we have used his staff, and he has been able to work with us and to travel wherever we go. So when we go into a new area, one of the things that I do, one of the first calls I make, I call John to ask him whether he is working in that area or if he has people that he thinks that we can take to that area to work. And I have not found John to say no even today. So we've been able to sit there and forge a great relationship. And we've been able to put together a team that really has been a success for both of us. You know, from John's standpoint, it looks like his company has done well and is doing well for itself. So that makes me, as an owner using his services, feel good that he's been able to sit there and put together a product and put together a team that is a win-win for both of us. Trades Unlimited has been a good source for quality electricians for our projects. When we go on to these projects, one of the things that we look at, especially in this day and time, they're short time frames, and typically they're low margins on them, which means that we have to sit there and complete these in a timely fashion, or we don't make money, which means that they're not a success. And with John's forces, what they do, they give us the quality and the dependability that we need to make sure that these projects are a success. The relationship that we've had with Trades has been a good one, and we hope to continue that in many years to come.
Trades Unlimited has allowed Beacon Electric to expand its geographic area. They provided a high quality of field personnel to work closely with our superintendents and with other journey person on projects all over the country. This combination has allowed us to work closely with our repeat customers throughout the South and the Midwest United States, and also given us the opportunity to expand with new customers throughout the region. Unlike some labor providers, Trades has given us repeat workers, which has given our superintendents the opportunity to understand the abilities and the strengths and weaknesses of the workers we get. Also, Trades' emphasis on safety and training closely mirrors that of Beacon Electric. Safety and quality are our top priorities, and it's good to have a partner like Trades Unlimited who understands the value and shares those common goals. We look forward to working with Trades Unlimited in the future as Beacon Electric expands into the South and to the Western United States.
That's it for another edition of Moving America Forward. I'm Bert Tenzer. Join us again as we continue to bring you the entrepreneurs who move America forward.
I'm William Shatner, and for all of us at Moving America Forward, thanks for watching.